Welcome again to one another episode of the Prospective series. And today we have here with us Dr. Wendi McKenna. Welcome, Wendi.
Hi, Philza. Great to see you. And hi, everyone. Welcome or excited to be here.
Thank you for being part of this. So let me introduce you all to Wendi McKenna. Wendi McKenna is a doctor of pediatric physical therapist, founder of Move, Play, Grow, and co-founder of Elevated Athlete Physical Therapy and Performance. Is a stand for families to create extraordinary lives. As a transformational leadership trainer and a mindset performance coach, Wendy supports teen and parents to live authentically and align with their values and vision by supporting them to identify and commit to what's important, create a journey of peace, love, joy, and abundance, and celebrate epic results in life goals and relationships. Amazing.
It's fun
I
to
mean,
hear it. It's like, okay, I do that. It's so interesting to hear it back. I spend so much of my life doing it and then trying to describe it, but there's something valuable about hearing it back. And I hope that everybody, that's the first lesson. Share your
absolutely.
vision with someone, what you're up to, and have them repeat it back to you. It's heartwarming. So thank you,
Yes, it
Philza.
is. So let me dive directly, keeping the time in mind, directly in the questions. One very interesting and very common question I ask everyone. Tell us more about you and what inspired you to start supporting young athletes and be in this place.
Great. Well, I love sport. I love being in sport. I love watching sport. I think there's so much value from so many angles about sport. I have been an athlete my whole life in various sports, and I have three children who each had their experience with sports, and one is still right in the middle of the youth sports. Conundrum sometimes because it's so he wants to be pulled in so many different directions because he loves so many things and so we're balancing right now a coach's desire for you to play baseball year round and for the child's desire to play football and baseball and fishing and golf and all the things and so um it's just so fun to be there with the kids because they're choosing to be there. And I, when anyone, whether it's a child or an adult, chooses to be someplace, it is very easy to support them to direct into goals that matter, that will move the needle, that, get them into the behaviors and the habit patterns that will serve them. And I say that because most of the things that kids are up to in the world right now, adults are telling them to do.
Yeah,
And so kids will learn in school. They will do well in school, maybe not because they're choosing to be there, and some may love it, but most, if they were given the choice to go to school or not to school, most would probably not. But we know it's important. And of course, as parents, we get to lead that as well. And when we want to teach them really great life lessons, it is much easier to do so when they're choosing to be there.
absolutely, absolutely. So is there any favorite sports of yours? Do you prefer any sports? Just for personal interest, I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah. So personally, I grew up doing sports that were what would be considered an individual sport, so not team sport. I rode horses, I rode bicycles, and then um, I was in dance and jazz and gymnastics, and so some may look at that as, those are absolutely individual sports, which they are, except for the horses. The horses is actually the most ultimate team sport because you are working with a 1,500 pound animal. And it is
Yeah,
like the ultimate
absolutely.
team. It's the ultimate team. And the consequences of not having that team go well are really high. And I mean, one of the reasons I'm a PT is because I broke 11 bones growing up. And so falling off of such horses and playing horse and all the things. But in general, overall, oh, and then I rode crew, which is the ultimate team sport because you are in unison and everything has to be matching precisely. Um, and I did that for 4 years. And ironically, it was such an easy jump from horses to the boat because the boat was the horse.
Okay.
The boat was the horse. It took feel, rhythm, millimeters of movement make a difference. Nanoseconds of timing makes a difference. And so I had been doing that with a horse for 10 years, and then I got into the boat, and it was a natural transition, and I was able to feel the boat much better than most other rowers were. So it made it for a very fun team experience. And I quickly became the stroke of the boat, and I was always talking to the coxswain, who was the coach of the boat, so that we could have it go better. So loved the teamwork part of that. In terms of my kids and family and the world, I love team sports. I love team sports. I'm not against the individual sport, obviously, did it my whole life. Um, but team sports, and even the research shows that when kids are in running based team sports as a kid
Mhm.
and enjoying it, that they are more likely to stay active for their entire lives than any other predictor. So if we're looking at not just having fun now, but the long term of health and moving and understanding that sitting behind a desk all day is not going to support me in my health, when kids are involved in that at a young age and having fun with it, that long term it's really beneficial for them. So that's just the start.
Yes, absolutely. And I do support team sports. So, what's that one leadership quality as being a leadership trainer? What's that one leadership quality sports is bringing, which classroom is not bringing, and normal schools are not bringing?
I mean, team is number one, and through team, and this is the value of team sports, is through team we are creating a vision for what the team wants to create, whether it's winning a game, winning a championship, being excellent in our drills and skills, going all in, 100% participation, 100% effort, whatever it is that the coach is really looking for, creating. My husband and I have been coaches of youth sports for 12 years now, and our three pillars are have fun, build skills, want to come back tomorrow. And if our kids are having fun, they're going to be all in. When they're building skills, they're going to be getting better. And if they want to come back tomorrow, we're going to just be able to do it all over again. And so
Of
we've taken
course.
that mantra um, and really depending on each child, like some children are going to be more team oriented. Some are more individual oriented. Some are outgoing and risk takers. Some are, a little bit more cautious. Some
Hmm.
are very emotional and dramatic. And some stuff their emotions down and try to be perfect. And so the value of being on a team is it brings all these humans together with very different personalities and very different ways of relating with one another. And it sets their sights on a common goal. And so that
Hmm.
you can see that even when people are being different or they are different, like that there's this, we can all focus on this and who do I get to be and what do I get to learn and what do I get to bring to the table so that our whole team gets there. And it's like, it's looking at myself like, how do I get to contribute? But it's not about me. It's not the ball hog. It's not, so with the ball hog, we all know what we're talking about, right? The person in soccer who takes the ball all the way down and forgets that he has teammates or she has teammates and it's like let's pass the ball. So even at an early age, it's like you're not allowed to shoot on goal until there's been at least three passes. And so we'll give very clear instructions even as they're all moving around in a little mob when they're only 7, 8 years old. And so it's and then the child who doesn't really get into the scrum into the middle of the things and usually stays back on the outside. One of my husband's goal in coaching soccer is that by the end of the season, every person on the team has been able to score a goal, every single one.
Wow. Wow.
And he's done it every year. And I got to tell you, when that last kiddo who has yet to score a goal because he's holding back or she's holding back and but the team is like, this is the last game, George, we're doing it. Like, and they just get him, like the whole team is behind this kid and it's like, just keep protecting him, pass the ball to him, like, and it's
Wow.
just the value of that, it's not about the goal. I mean, when you see
Mm.
that occurring on the field, I mean, yes, he gets the goal and everybody celebrates, but the value of that is so, you can't overstate how important that is to feel like there are this many people behind me rooting for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is at younger ages, and obviously as we get older, and this is where, we have it's a challenge as we get into middle school. Middle school being, ages 12 and up, because now sports aren't recreational anymore. They're more competitive. You're on
Mhm.
travel teams. The vision becomes winning over most things. And and so my husband and we talk to our child all the time about like winning is just one thing. It's just one
Mm.
thing. It's really not about winning. This is what we're looking for. And so we're choosing travel teams that really support our vision for what kind of experience we want our child to have, especially now because now he's at a level where he's beyond the coaching skills of the actual sport for both me and my husband. So he's into baseball and football, and we're not there anymore. I'm not an expert in football, and I'm not an expert in coaching baseball at that level. I could do it at the younger level because it's basically where's first base, second base, third base, right? It's just go there. But now it's strategy, it's IQ of the game, and so we're not coaching. And being a parent on the sidelines now, I've been a parent on the sidelines for a little bit longer, but my husband's like, this is really hard. It's really hard to be on the sidelines. And I can see why parents want to coach from the sidelines
Mm.
because they feel like there's something missing in the coach dynamic with their child, or they feel like their child needs a little something before they get up. And this is where in Elevated Athlete, we're not just working with the athletes, we're working with the parents too, because when a parent is on the sidelines, it's really important to just be a sideline parent. Don't be the coach. And they have a coach. This is where you get to trust the coach. You've chosen for them to be on this team. You get to trust the coach. And
Wow.
yeah. So cheer for your child. Cheer for the
Yeah.
team. Yeah. And be a respectful spectator.
Mm. Yeah.
So there's
So
so many lessons to go around in sport. It's like where do we want to go?
yeah, this is one very important thing which you said. Actually, a lot of important things which you said, like trust your coach. Don't like fear over there. They're going to do good. Coaches, let them do their job. So that's a big thing. I've also experienced many times, like even I'm holding it tight whether they're going to do it or not. Let me go and tell them. And when I'm surrendering and trusting the coach, I can see that the building of trust, the process of building trust is happening in that moment with the child and the coach and the situation, how to handle the situation. Like, and one more thing I would like to say, the mantra which you have used, the have fun, build skill, and come back tomorrow, was giving me goosebumps because
Mhm.
uh, there are very few areas where kids are choosing to come back. Like today
Yeah.
also my daughter was, I asked her to let's study because exams are coming and she said, I don't want to study. Let me practice Taekwondo. She's going to get her black belt this month. So she's yeah, she said, let me practice a little bit that. And I couldn't say no to it because she was having
Mhm.
fun over there. So I love the mantra, Wendy.
Thank you.
So
And just one more thing about the mantra. My goal is for all the things that we're up to meets those criteria. I mean, imagine if school was about having fun, building skills, and wanting to come back tomorrow. What
wow,
if our jobs were about having fun, building skills, and wanting to come back tomorrow? It's not just sports. Like we can really take this beyond the field, beyond the rink, beyond the court. And how
exactly.
can I be? How can I show up so that and what kind of coach or teacher or boss or colleague can I be so that the people around me Trust that we are a team, that I have your back, that we are have a vision, a common vision that we're going towards. We're having fun doing it. We're all building skills doing it, which can be very uncomfortable building skills. Learning can be really challenging. And so, it's these two things. Can you have fun and also be uncomfortable? The answer is yes. And at the end of the
Yes.
day, when you feel good about yourself because of the effort that you put in, the results that you're creating, you're like, I can't wait to do it again tomorrow. I mean, this is what we want for our lives. That's why I love using sport to bring the skills and the ideas and the vision into every other parts of our life, because every other parts of our life can be this good too.
Yes, of course. And I really can understand what's the need of it right now to make schooling, the education system, the learning part to be a fun thing for child to choose it because children are pushing it away and they don't want to be there. So with that, my next question is, do you believe that sports are beneficial for child development? And how is that connected to real life winning beyond the field?
Yeah, so we touched upon the psychological emotional piece of like when kids are having fun,
Yeah,
they learn better. They are more focused.
100%.
They will practice and practice and practice, which is what we know is necessary for learning. So repetition is very, very important. So when we're choosing to be someplace, we're not having an internal battle or a fight of like, you just need to do your homework now. You just need to study again. You just need like, and so there's that part. Then of course there's the physical part of being able to move our body in space, knowing where it is as I am at point A and how to get to point B in the most efficient and effective way to accomplish a goal. Our bodies are designed to be behavioral functionators. It's a new word. I just created a new word. But our behavior is functional in nature. And so we have this beautiful body that was designed to do so many things. I mean, the human body is adaptable. If you want to learn to be a rock climber, you can be a rock climber. If you want to learn how to be a football player, you can be a football player. If you want to learn how to do somersaults and flip on beams and bars, you can do that. If you want to be a Taekwondo master and a black belt, you can do that. We all start with the same thing. It's just our choice of where we want to go. And so the value in this is that we learn about our body, we train our body, we treat our body like, and we honor it like it's a temple. It is our temple. And so it gets to last our whole lifetime. Sitting is the new smoking.
Mm, yeah.
Sitting is the new smoking. So when we're moving our body, we are creating health. We are creating, you know, from the holistic perspective all the way down to the cellular level. We are creating things that work. We are creating brain and body connections. We are strong. When we are strong, we feel more confident. I mean, it goes back and forth. And so sport is the ultimate way to support with emotional development, psychological development, physical development. Again, primarily because it's what kids are choosing. And, when kids are toddlers and just running around, they're choosing to move.
Yeah.
And yet we train them to sit.
Mm,
They need to sit quietly, they need to sit on the
yeah.
rug, they need to sit in their place. So we spend so much time and energy getting them out of the natural condition of humanity and being human, which is to move. So we're
Yeah.
actually training it out of them, which is a real challenge. And we see, why is everyone so sick? Well, let's look at what
Mm-hmm.
we're training people to do. And well, we
Yeah.
have to do this because they have to be able to learn that. Really? Who said that learning sitting in a desk is more effective than learning moving? Nobody. We just assume that because it's easier to pack kids into a classroom and to have them managed behaviorally if they're in their little square.
Wow.
So I know. I mean, we could go so many places, but this is why sport is so important, because you've got to give them a chance to be a kid and to develop. Um, naturally. And yes, sport is still adult directed, but what you'll find most times is that when kids have free time and they're not on their phones or their iPads, that they're choosing to move. They're making up their own games. They're outside in the streets with their friends. And so we know intuitively what's good for our bodies, and kids, before they're trained out of it, are moving.
Lovely. I really want parents to pin this area and repeat it again and again and listen to it. The way you said, whatever you choose, we can do it. If we want to be a flayer, we can be a flayer. If I want to be a rider, I can be a rider. So it's all about the practice. This is the key point. This is the key point. And we are training kids to sit, which is not natural. I have experienced many parents are like their demand is to just, I want my child to sit and listen and learn. What if they're choosing to learn through movement? What if they're choosing to be in a group and explore the world and touch and feel? Whoa, I really want everyone to understand this, how important it is for our children, for their development to keep moving, choose moving.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. With that, I would like to ask you this question. Many parents are saying that my kids are getting like aggressive, or they are not like listening to me, and they are not being able to express their emotion. Is a sport helping them into expressing their emotions and controlling their emotions, the impulse control? Is it helping kids if they are into any sports?
I think that it's a great avenue to address it. I think that there are some kids who we may label as more aggressive, whatever that means, So I would be careful about labeling anyone aggressive or saying that they're not listening. A lot of times when parents say my kid's not listening, it's not that they're not listening, they're not obeying you. So listening and obeying are two very different things. And so
Mm-hmm.
if they're not obeying, you've got to ask yourself, so what is in the way of them doing what I'm asking them to do? Because they're listening.
They
They're
are
just
listening.
they're always listening. They're listening to everything. They're listening to your words. They're listening to your tone. They're listening to your energy. They're listening, and so they are always listening. Now, there's a little bit of breakdown sometimes with kids is that when they're listening and they're absorbing everything, they're also creating their own interpretations of things.
Yeah.
And so the challenge with a child always creating their own interpretation of things is that they don't have a lot of life skills yet to really be wise and discerning about the truth of their interpretation. So where
Hmm.
we can come in, and sport helps this because again, they're more likely to sit down with you to talk about it because they want to get better at it.
Yeah.
So we can talk about, well, have you noticed, we'll talk about, an aggressive child. So I would say on a field that would be like a hyper competitive child. It's me over you, it's me not you, to be a better team member. Like, and so sitting down with them and just saying, okay, so what has you want to have the ball the whole time? And could you see value in giving it to something else? No, because Johnny doesn't know how to play. And no, because Danny just every time I pass him the ball, he misses it. And then we lose the ball and it gets turned over. So whatever they're gonna say and say, okay, got it. So you're really good. So we get to acknowledge them. You're amazing at
Hmm.
this sport. You know how to handle the ball, you know how to dribble the ball, you know how to get through traffic with the ball. What skills do you think the rest of your team get to learn so that as a team, you guys are unbeatable? Because I know for right now, you think that you can be the one who's doing it, but there's going to come a time where you're going to need the rest of your teammates to be there. And
Yeah.
so then they're like, oh, well, Johnny just needs to have a stronger leg. And Danny really just needs to learn this one move. And it's like, okay, well, how can you support with that? Oh, I could
Yeah.
practice with them. Yes. Like, and by the way, like Ask them. You don't have to make them do it. Say, you're bad at this. I want to do it with you. So we're learning how to communicate with people so that they want to take the next step, which is
Yeah.
exactly what happens with parents who tell their kids something and their kids don't do it. They are
Hmm.
listening, they just don't want to do it. So how can we as parents communicate with them so that they want to do it?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. We're learning communication skills. And so, um, but we need to be within our self understanding what's a strength here that I can leverage in order to address a challenge
Hmm.
versus just you are always doing this, it doesn't work, you're hitting the weak spot every time, but there's no acknowledgement of the strengths. But when we can be strength based in our way of communicating with people and with building skills, people are going to be far more likely, kids are going to be far more likely to want to work with you when you meet them where they are in their strengths and what is working. And then you gently guide them into the challenge area where we get to grow. And
Yeah.
one of those areas, going back to the beginning, is really learning how to interpret things in a way that works. You missing the goal doesn't make you a failure.
Yep. Hmm.
You didn't lose the game for the team because you missed that shot. You know,
Hmm.
if you're putting all of the pressure on yourself to be perfect, what does that do to team morale, your morale?
Hmm.
And how can we take some of that pressure off of you? And, well, but the coach is always yelling at me. It's like, okay, so let's talk about what the coach is actually saying to you. Because the interpretation is coach is always yelling at me. Now, it could be that their coach is always yelling at them. And then, then we get to talk to the coach about like, does it really work to yell at my child? Right. But, if, well, the coach is always yelling at me. Okay. So I hear that hear the coach yelling at you. So tell me more about that. Like, what is it that he's yelling? How is it that he's saying it, that it comes across as yelling? Because when I hear a child saying coach is yelling at me, I don't just hear the words. I hear the emotional, like, I
Hmm.
don't want to be yelled at, and when a child is
Yeah.
like this, they can't play effectively. They can't learn effectively. They're protecting themselves. And so I want them to be able to take feedback. I want them to be able to get information from a coach and apply it in the moment and create something different. I want them to be able to miss a goal and go, "Oh, new moment. Where do I get to go now?" That's my goal for them. And so if they don't have that skill, if they're the child who, say strikes out and then starts crying crumpled on the ground, you know, obviously meet them where they are, don't make that wrong, and let's learn something different. Let's learn something that actually works for your team. Let's hold your head high, no, walking
Hmm.
back to the dugout, knowing that you tried your best. There's certain things that you get to work on. That pesky curveball is really hard to hit.
Hmm.
And and then be like, okay, this week I'm going to practice hitting curveballs. Like, okay, now I know where I get to go. Okay, this time up, I struck out, but you know what? People strike out. I've got another teammate behind me. Every inning, there's 3 outs. I was just one of them. I did not lose the game for us right now by striking out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just
Yeah.
some examples.
How beautifully you explained. It's not just about the sports or making your child listen. It's not about just making them do the work or just learn and pass the grade. It's about communicating. It's about coaching. It's about being with them in their emotions and in that moment and helping them come out of that so that they can like be resilient and moving and learning with choice, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
And thus building those skills that will support them for a lifetime.
yes, 100%, I agree to that. Do you believe schools should integrate sports not just for physical fitness, but as a core subject for developing emotional intelligence and leadership in kids?
Oh my gosh, this is so good. Here's the thing about sport and why it works so well. It's because the kids raise their hand. There are some kids, and I have one in my family that does not like sports. She just doesn't
Okay.
like sports. Was never part of it. She loves art. She loves to paint. She loves to draw. She loves, and so Should every kid be mandated to do a sport? I don't think so. No. Physical education is part of our curriculum in the United States, and I believe probably part of yours as well. I think
Yes.
PE can be done much better. I think that when kids have a choice of how they move, not just that they move, that PE will be far more effective. But if you
Mm.
say everyone here today is playing dodgeball, there are going to be some kids that are like, I love dodgeball, and throw the ball. And there are going to be kids that be like, oh my God, I'm standing in the back. I don't want to touch the ball. I don't want to, I don't want to be hit by the ball. I don't, and so
Mm.
but there are programs here, not very many, but it's a model and it could be replicated relatively easily. There's a PE program throughout a school district in Illinois here in the United States where their PE program is heart rate based.
Mm.
And so every child gets a heart rate monitor at the beginning of the session, and they take their baseline heart rate, and it's marked on a paper or marked on a table. And then they have whatever time it is, like 35 minutes, in order to create their heart rate in the maximum training zone for 20 minutes.
Mm.
So
Okay.
they can choose jump roping, basketball, soccer, running around the track, running stadiums if they want. But this school over the years has developed more and more stations. They even have a rock climbing wall now, and all donated by local businesses because the school district doesn't have money for all of this stuff. And so, but in order to get the grade in the school, it's not what you do, it's that your heart rate is in this zone for 20 minutes. And that does wonders for kids' ability to get moving at a point where, okay, this is where my heart is actually working harder and it's good for me. And oh, I'm walking at this slow pace. What if I speed walk? What will happen to my heart rate? So they have immediate feedback on their wrist of am I working hard enough? And somebody
Mm.
who's walking at what looks like, a small, slower pace, and versus someone who's running, the coach might look at them and say, wow, Johnny, great job, good effort. You've been running around that track the whole time. And they might look at Sally and go, Sally, like you got to step it up. Like you just need to do better. But if you look at their heart rates are very similar. So it's like, oh, wow, Sally actually was working, and we need to pay attention to why it's so hard for her to walk. It gives you
Mm.
more information about why kids are behaving the way they're behaving. And
Mm.
so it's but what's so valuable about this in this school district, the test scores are one of the highest in the nation. The discipline rates are one of the lowest in the nation, and the obesity rates are absolutely the lowest in the nation at around hovering around like 3% versus 30. I mean,
Great.
so many things are working because they have this thing called zero period PE, and they do it at the beginning of the day.
Mm.
And the other thing that research shows is when you move with your heart rate at that level for 20 minutes, you're basically priming the brain for learning. And you're
Mm.
priming the brain to sit and focus. So now that they've gotten their wiggles out, they can go and sit down, and there's an increased, enhanced learning curve for up to 4 hours after the fact. 20 minutes of being in the right heart rate zone increases the potential for learning for up to 4 hours afterwards.
Wow.
I
Wow.
know. I needed to repeat that so that people got that. Like this is why it's imperative that we have movement, whether it's
Yeah.
sport or PE or anything else, but we have movement that's effective and efficient and actually primes our body, you know, school will be a different animal.
Yeah. Yeah. So amazing. What I'm hearing you is like loud and clear is it's not just the sport, it's the movement. And one more thing, if you want to build focus and attention in your child, let them move, let them choose to move, let them have fun in moving. That's amazing. So with that, with keeping the time in mind, what's one message you would like to leave for parents, coaches, educators, and about helping children grow through sports?
Do whatever you can, be whoever you get to be so that kids have fun, build skills, and want to come back tomorrow.
Amazing, amazing. With that, thank you, Wendy, for sharing all the wisdom, all the knowledge. And it has been amazing. Time passed like anything. So, where can my viewers find you? Where can they reach out to you? Because I want them to have more of you. So, can you
Yeah.
guide them?
Yeah, so we're just launching Elevated Athlete now, so it's not even up online yet. So my personal Instagram account, Wendi W. McKenna, and the link will be down below, is the best place. And then, really being able to speak with you this morning, Philza, it has occurred to me that I get to have a session for parents, a group workshop for youth sports parents. And so I will get that date to you, and I would love to invite all of your listeners to come to that session. And if you can't come live, we will record the parts that are in the main room. But the workshops that I create are always very fun and interactive and impactful. So I will get
I'm
that date
sure
to
on
you.
that.
And I just came up with that right now, so that was not a plan. But I think it would be really supportive, beneficial, and fun.
Yes, yes, 100%. So for all the viewers, thank you for being here with us in this The Prospective series, keeping the future in mind. And I will put all the details in the description box so that you can find Wendy down there and reach out to her and connect and learn and grow. Thank you so much for being here with us, Wendy. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye and take care. Good night. Well, good morning for Wendy.
I know, right? Good morning for me.
Yes, bye-bye.